What up, fam? About to get started. About to get started, baby. What up? We're about to break it down. This is Street Lawyer Podcast. My guest and guest host from London is about to join us. What's up? What's up? What's up, fam? We're gonna break down everything going on in the U.S. and London, how it compares, dating, culture, everything. And um, you'll see my friend Eunice. You know, he ain't just anybody. Put it that way. So we're gonna call people out. What up? What up? And so I'm rolling one so that, of course, because as you know, during any conversation, uh, wow, so, watermelon bubblegum, crazy, 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 crazy. Anyway, so yeah, this is gonna be a real one, because he does not. He goes against the grain, and he keeps it real. And he doesn't just sit there and follow what everybody says. Doesn't say what's popular. I invited him on. Hopefully, what's up? Hopefully he joins any second. If there's any topics you want us to cover, let me know. Um, Good to see everybody. What's up? What's up? Hope you're all well. Hope you're smoking well. Hope you're doing everything else well. What are you smoking on? Oh shit! Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. We'll see where my guy is. If you don't mind, if y'all don't mind, I'm gonna light this up. If that's okay. Let me know if that's an issue. White cherry gumbo. We just had some of that. Yeah, anything gumbo these days. That's like the new runts, Bro, get on here, man. There he is.
What are you saying?
Eunice,
Yes, man. What's up?
how are you, man?
Good.
You hear me and everything? I hear
Yeah, yeah,
you.
yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
see you. What strain are you on?
Which where?
What strain? What
Oh,
strain?
what strain am I smoking? This is
Yeah.
watermelon bubblegum, brother.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Nice.
But you don't even smoke, do you?
No, not really. No. No. I've tried it before a few times, but I don't know. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes not so good. Sometimes it gets me sleepy. Sometimes it gets me paranoid. Sometimes it makes me laugh.
Right.
Sometimes it's like a mixed bag, you know, like
Right.
sometimes it can make me anxious and paranoid, and sometimes it can give me like this voice in my head,
I know
you
exactly
know.
what you mean. I know
Yeah.
exactly
But it's
what you
like
mean.
it's not a positive voice,
I,
so it's a negative voice. So that's
right,
why
you start
I try to
ruminating.
yeah,
You
yeah.
start worrying about shit,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that
Exactly.
hold on, what shirt are you wearing over there?
Like a psychedelic shirt.
Yo, man. Wow. So is that what you are? You the stylish guy in London over there? What's going on with you?
I think so. I don't know. Can you see me okay? Because basically I'm using my home. Yeah? Okay. So yeah, man.
Yo. So are you because you're talking about dating as well. We'll get into that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I have my whole theories on that. Do you have your theories on that?
Of course, man. Been with hundreds of women, so
So what is
yeah,
it though? But you're always look. I always hear you on
yeah,
interviews, and there's certain things you're passionate about. And you've been kind of shaking things up, haven't you?
yeah, yeah. I would say so. I would say
Why?
so.
Why are you shaking things up?
I'm not trying to shake things up as far as I'm just trying to tell the truth of how I see things.
Yeah.
I just try to be as impartial and direct. I criticize anything that I think that needs to be criticized. I think there's no idea or no individual that's beyond criticism. I'm not this type of person that picks teams, like I was just earlier, just, for example, I was like speaking about, Shahzad Reza Pahlavi, which is like this king of like the next king of Iran, supposedly, and the past king.
Okay.
And like any other individual, he has his own flaws. But people are like, oh no, you can't speak bad about him. I'm like,
Right.
why? He's not God.
Right.
I like Trump, but he has his flaws as well. I like Nigel Farage, he has his own flaws as well. Any ideology, any country, anything has its own flaws as well. So there are certain things that I agree with and certain things that I disagree with, and I never put
Uh-huh.
myself in a box.
I get it. I
Yeah,
agree. What
yeah,
everybody's trying to check all the boxes and be on this team no matter what.
yeah.
But so okay, you're Iranian
Yes,
born.
yes. Where are you from, by the way?
I'm from Miami,
Yeah,
Mex-
but like originally.
Mexican
Oh,
Jewish.
oh, Mexican Jewish. Okay. I'm Iranian. Yeah, I was born in Iran, but I have some Turkish in me as well, and also some like South Asian.
And how late? When did you move from Iran?
Like when I was a kid, like I
Okay.
was young. Yeah.
And so, what are you seeing in this world? What the heck are you seeing? Is there something wrong? Is there something wrong going on the streets and in this mentality of people?
Um. Look, the reason why I started my page, it wasn't so much to speak about politics. It
Uh-huh.
was more to try to open people's minds, like how I see life, and I don't think I see life through an orthodox way, you know? I think I kind of got boxed into the politics side of it, but I have an opinion about everything. I have an opinion about dating. I have an opinion about psychology. I have an opinion about fashion. I
Uh-huh.
have an opinion about music.
Obviously.
I have an opinion about
Right.
films. I've done a lot of
Right.
different things in my life, so I'm not like a one-dimensional person.
Okay.
I'm very dynamic. So if you like want a specific answer, like you need to ask me a specific
Let's
question.
get
So
let's get to it. Let's get
yeah,
to your homeland,
yeah.
Iran. What's going on there? What do you think? What would you like to see happen there?
Well, as I said, I don't like to speak so much about politics, but because I speak about it all the
Yeah.
time, and I was actually hoping to speak about other things with you, like, girls and stuff like that, and fashion and music and stuff like this. But in terms of Iran, I think Iran's going to collapse within the next 2 to 4 years.
Yeah.
I think that the whole Middle East and the whole world is changing because the consciousness of people is evolving and it's elevating.
Ooh,
I think we've reached peak woke,
right.
and now the tide is turning, especially with Trump coming into power
Right.
and all the things that's happening in the world and freedom of speech and X. So in terms of Iran, I think Iran is absolutely beautiful. Persian people are some of the most successful, good-looking people on the planet. I'm sure you have a lot of them in Miami and New York and LA and
I've
stuff.
met many, love them, of course.
Yeah, I know a lot of Persian Jews as well. You're Mexican Jew, but yeah. So um, I just think that it's just such a shame that what's happened to my country. Like these people that govern Iran, they're not even Iranian. They're like a bunch of terrorists, like
Right.
desert
Right.
desert lizards that somehow manage to take control of a whole nation, and they just give us a bad reputation. But anyone that knows Iranians knows that we're not like that.
So, like, what about the Iranians in England and in London? There's a large community, right?
There is, yeah, relatively
And
large.
is it like split, or are most people sort of where you are on this?
Most people are where I am. Like I would say 80% of Iranians,
Uh-huh.
maybe even 90%
Really?
are very,
Wow.
very, very anti-Islamic Republic. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not even controversial outside of Iran to have that opinion.
No, even inside of Iran, people have that opinion. But the thing
Oh,
is, we're living under a dictatorship, so you can't really do anything
yeah,
about it.
gotta be quiet about it.
Yeah, unless they'll throw you in jail or something.
You don't want to run around the street and be like, "Hey, this shit sucks." Like you don't want to.
No, no, no.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
you're probably that's like a good ticket to go out. Like the Squid Games. If you want to die, that's what you do.
Really, man. Okay, so you're in London. You're an Iranian guy. You're good looking because everybody, the Persians are good looking. What's your date? What is the scene like there?
What, dating scene
Yeah,
in London?
what is it like there?
Um,
You're
I would say
single,
actually the overall quality of girls in London is not very high, in my opinion. Because I've lived in this country for a long time. I've probably dated hundreds of girls. The overall quality is not that great in London. You know, although it's like an international city
right?
and we have people coming from all over the world,
Right.
the overall quality of the girls here is not that high.
But
You
you
know,
only need
that's why I want to come to Miami, man.
that
I heard that Miami.
very
I
high,
actually have like kind of like a girlfriend or like a half girlfriend. She's from America. Like she came to London for a while.
which is she's a half
No.
girlfriend.
Like she lives in America. She just came to the UK. Was dating throughout the
I
summer,
got you.
and I think yeah.
Yeah.
So I think she's in Dubai now. But like I might come to America to see her or something. I don't know. But just in
No.
general, I think like Miami, I've got the best girls from what I've seen.
That's what a lot of people say who've been everywhere. Like the quality
I
there,
haven't been,
looks
so I can't really
wise.
comment. I think
Right.
it's a lot of BBLs and a lot of breast implants. I
Well,
feel
there's a
like
lot,
that's
but
what that
listen,
enhances it.
you know,
Huh?
I think the treasure in Miami are like the real Miami girls that I grew up with. Because in
Mm,
my high school, like before there weren't uniforms, girls would wear short shorts to high school.
mm,
You know what I mean? And it was quite a scene. But here's the thing about Miami. Anybody who's kind of appealing in that way from other cities and want to make it, move to Miami. So you're kind of getting like the best from all the
mm,
cities,
mm,
looks wise at least, or who want to
mm.
thrive looks wise, they come to Miami. So
Right.
the collection keeps growing, you know? So that's
Yeah.
kind of what the deal is in Miami. But I heard London's a good scene. Wow. Interesting what you're
Yeah.
saying.
London is okay. Like maybe I'm a bit bored. I think overall London is one of the best cities in the world. Yeah. Let's keep it real.
Right.
I think it's like top three, but it's really gone downhill for different reasons. You know, if it's gone really downhill, especially after COVID. It's not what you used to. I would say like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, London was the
That's
best
when
city in the
London
world.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I thought like now Miami's coming up. Like, you know, New York's going down,
Uh huh.
Miami's coming up, LA's going down, Miami's coming up, Dubai's coming up. You know, that's what is happening,
I
you know? So
agree. I agree. So all right, well
so
then you'll come to Miami then. Miami's a city you
yeah,
need
for
to see.
sure, man. I would like to come and see you actually. Whereabouts do you live?
I live in DC, but I'm always in Miami, man. You come anywhere.
Okay.
DC's a little
Yeah, DC is very political, right?
well, there's a whole scene. There's a
Yeah.
whole city.
Mm.
So yeah, it's like a whole vibe. Clubs, bars, restaurants, neighborhoods. It's a cool city. Like a small city. So
DC.
you gotta check yeah, DC.
Yeah.
So, there's guys in suits, but then there's like a city around it, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't mind the suits. I feel like that's my
You don't
style.
mind
Anyway. I
this.
feel like
So
I'm extreme, either extreme. I'm either dressed like this, like wearing psychedelic shit like this,
yeah.
or I'm in a three-piece
Are
suit.
you going out tonight?
You know,
Do you go out a lot?
I used to. I used to. I mean, it's January now, but so I try to
Why
stay
aren't
like
you
in
married?
January. I try to calm down for like maybe a couple of
Uh-huh.
months, but then
uh
my birthday is in March, so
Okay. March what?
30th.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Why
Well,
you
you got
trying
a
to
couple
calculate
months.
my
You, you,
astrology or numerology?
yeah, you got a couple. Right? Yeah. Are you into that? I'm not into that.
I know about it. I'm not so
You know
into it.
about it. I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like everybody's into this now.
No,
I mean, I hear everybody talking. 10 years ago, not so much.
I mean, for me, it's the opposite. When I was like a teenager, like you know, when you're a teenager growing up, you're trying to understand yourself. You get into different things. So I know about it, but like that was like 10, 15 years ago. I was into it, but not anymore,
Well,
man. I feel like
you know,
every individual is a unique. However, I do feel like um, the time you're born and the day you're born and how the stars aligned in that moment could have some kind of an influence.
there's
And it,
something to it. There's
yeah, there's
something to
something
it.
to yeah, there's something to it. Yeah, it's not 100% bullshit, but it's not
Uh
hundred
huh.
percent accurate either. It's just like one of those things.
Well, you know how like that's like a pickup line. Like, hey, what's your sign? Have you ever heard that?
Yeah,
What's
I mean,
your sign?
I speak. The thing is, the good thing is, because I know about it, I can speak to girls
You can.
extensively about it.
Okay. Okay.
You
Good.
know, but
Good.
it does.
Yeah.
I never go into the conversation like, oh, what's your star sign? I don't talk to girls like that. I just go up to them, say hi, how are you?
Well,
You like
but you know
normal,
what? You know
normal,
where that
normal conversation.
originated from?
Mm,
That originated from like the counterculture in the US when it was all like corporate in the 50s and 60s, and then sort of the hippie era came.
mm,
So people wanted to avoid saying, oh, what do you do for a living? So that's how you know you were counterculture when you go up to somebody and say, "What's your sign?" You know
I
what I'm
don't know.
saying? So,
Yeah,
because it meant, oh, you don't care about the money, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You care about something else. What's your
I don't
sign?
give a fuck about that though, man. I like to speak about everything. I like
Yeah,
to speak about. I would like to know what you do and what's your star sign and whatever else, man.
all that
Like
shit.
all that shit. Yeah, I don't care.
So, but let's get into it though,
Yeah.
because you've become a little controversial,
Mm.
haven't you?
In
Right? And I know
what
you don't
sense?
give a shit, and you shouldn't.
Yeah, yeah,
And I like that. In fact, that's probably why I even came across you.
yeah.
And
Maybe. I don't know. I don't try to be controversial though. I try to speak the truth as I see it.
so
You know, I
why?
criticize everything, as I said. You know, there's no idea that's beyond criticism.
So
There's no
what is
individual that's,
controversial? What do people think is controversial that you say?
from my eyes, I don't see it as controversial. I see it as
Correct.
the truth. You know,
Right.
they might see it as controversial, but I don't.
Understand.
I don't try to go out of my way to be controversial. Let's just
Right.
put it that
I
way.
get it. I get it
Yeah.
100%.
Mm.
So what I'm saying, what are people misconstruing or perceiving as controversial that in fact is not controversial?
I don't
That is just
know. The
stating
fact
facts.
the fact that I support Israel, for example, they think that's a controversial fact because 95% of people support Palestine and they think they're oppressed. Yeah, they are oppressed, but they're oppressed by their own leaders. So are Iranians. They're oppressed by the Islamic Republic. You know?
Yes.
So
Right.
that's but then the thing is that's ill informed that the tide is turning. As I said, Netanyahu won that war.
Right.
Trump won. So at the
Right.
end of the day, Trump was
You
a
think
controversial character, but he won. Netanyahu was a controversial character, he won. Churchill during World War II, he was a controversial
controversial
character, he won.
character he won.
Like controversial characters usually end up winning, and you know when you speak the truth, people don't like it because it bursts their bubble.
Right.
You know, and
Right.
as I said, I don't try to be controversial. And this
Uh-huh.
is a misconception that people may have about me. I don't try to be controversial. I see it as it is, and I speak my mind, and I analyze it, and it's an informed discussion. It's not
Right.
an ill-informed discussion. I do my research, and I put the facts together,
Right.
and I speak my mind. That's it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting is throughout this whole sort of post October 7th, I feel like there's been this serious deep bonding between Iranians and Jewish people and Israelis.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed. Have you noticed? There's been
Yeah.
sort of not a coalition. I guess a shared interest and shared, but it's more than that because there's sort of this layer of love and understanding there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look, the Persians and the Jews, they actually, first of all, I'm not a religious person. Yeah, I believe in God. I'm
Uh huh.
not Muslim and I'm not Jewish and I'm not Christian. As I said, I don't put myself in a box. Yeah, life is dynamic. Life is, it's not black and white, it's 50 shades of gray, okay? So again, I don't have no allegiance to anything or anyone,
Right.
okay? That being said, the Jews and the Persians, they actually share a very deep history, especially through Cyrus the Great.
Hmm.
2,500 years ago, when the Persians conquered Israel, and we had the first ever Bill of Human Rights. It was signed by the Persians, and it gave the Jewish people the right to live within Persia without being murdered. So that was the first ever Bill of Human Rights. So the bond between the Persians and the Israelis actually goes back 2,500 years.
I see.
So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's how deep it is.
That's
And
true.
then the
Right.
Arabs came, and then Islam came, and Muhammad, basically committed genocide on the Jews, and that's what and also attacked the Persians and stuff. So that's what happened. But the bond between the Jews and the Persians goes back 2,500 years.
So it sounds like I think we share this sentiment. Sometimes I feel like I'm in upside down world
Hmm.
when I hear what's being said
Yeah.
about what's going on in Israel, Gaza, and further beyond that,
Hmm.
and sort of the approaches people are having is just the amount of moral confusion I see is shocking,
Hmm.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's kind of like up is down and down is up,
Hmm.
and you're putting the cart before the horse and the horse before the cart.
Hmm.
We're forgetting the order of things,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but the thing is, I just feel like, I mean, maybe it was always like this, but we have people that jump on the bandwagon. We have very few people that are actually independent thinkers. People think they are independent thinkers,
Correct.
but they're not. They only like 90% of the
Yeah.
things, 90% of the things that they think is someone else's opinion. They
Right.
hear something from somewhere and they form that opinion themselves. So they don't actually analyze things in their own
Right.
brain and don't actually think about it. It was something
Right.
that was
Right.
drilled into them
Yeah.
either as a kid or as a teenager or by their society or by their parents or by their peers, whatever, or by the media or by social
Right.
media, you know? So it's very, very rare. And I actually encourage people to critical thinking. Think for
Right.
yourself,
Right.
you know? And when you think for yourself, you
Yeah.
become your own character. And when you become your own character, then nobody can be you. You know, you become the
Right.
unique Eunice or the unique Loney. You know, it is
Yeah.
what it is. You
Yeah.
become you. You know what I mean? Instead of just uh, someone that's still in the matrix.
Well, there's this. Yeah, I agree. And what's really shocking about this is I've spoken to
Mm,
people that are very pro Hamas or pro that side of things, think the IDF is
mm,
evil and all that,
yeah.
and they believe that they're in this brave minority
Mm,
of people willing to speak out.
yeah.
Now, whether one believes their opinion or not, that's the
Mm,
majority opinion.
mm,
That's the mob opinion.
yeah.
Whether one thinks it's right or wrong, that's the mob opinion. And I believe it's much more controversial these days to vocally be pro-Israel. I think that's the controversial position these
Yeah.
days, whether one thinks it's right or wrong. What do you think?
Well, as I said, you know, you shouldn't care so much about what other people think, you know?
Right,
There is a saying that says people that speak the truth, if only 5 people in your society speak the truth, that society is saved. But if everyone in that society lies, then your society is going down. So try to be one of those 5 people. You know,
that's
because the
it.
reason why people don't want to speak out their minds because they worry too much about what other people think. They don't want to be alienated from their
Right,
communities. They don't want to be alienated from their friendship groups. They don't want to be alienated from their family. And then my point is like, why do you care? Like there's a real weakness to
yeah,
caring about what other people think.
right.
There's a real weakness when it comes to being liked. When you're yourself and when you speak your truth, that's when you're actually liked, and you're liked by the right people.
Uh,
You know, not by the,
ah,
you know what I mean.
right.
If
I
you're
agree.
fake,
I
you get
agree.
fake love. If you're fake, you get fake love by fake people. But if you're real, you get real love by real people. And yeah, you might alienate some people, that but it is what it
That's
is.
fine.
That's what it is. And I
Let them
think
be alienated, huh?
exactly, let them be alienated. But then the thing is, you can't break the fabric of reality. If you actually think about things, and if you actually analyze things, and if you actually truly believe on something
Right.
based on facts
Yeah.
and based on not lying to yourself, because I think people first of all, before they lie to anyone else, they lie to themselves in order to make themselves comfortable about it. And then when they speak to other people, they think they're telling the truth, but it's actually they lied to themselves. They cemented something in their
Right.
head, and then they repeat it to other people. So don't do that. Think for yourself, think critically, and also don't have any limiting beliefs. You know, I think a lot of people have a lot of limiting beliefs. They think they can't do certain things because they're
Well,
not the right person. Don't have,
and I'm going
yeah,
to add another layer, though. I'm going to add another
yeah,
layer that complicates that a little
mm,
bit. There's a price to pay sometimes
yeah,
in society now. If you take a position that's your truth, not your truth, that's the truth,
mhm.
but it's controversial. It's not just, hey, social outcast. There can be a price to pay now,
Well,
which
there
is kind
used
of a different
to be.
animal.
There used
Huh?
to be a lot more. Yeah,
There used to
exactly.
be a
Look,
lot
there's a price to
more.
pay. No, but
That's right.
as I said, you know, you might get alienated from your own friendship group, from your family, from your job, from your society. But you don't live in a dictatorship. In certain countries, you say certain things, you go to jail or they kill you. For example, one of them is Iran. You
Wow.
know, but I think that the tide is turning now. You know, and I think Elon Musk, people like Elon Musk, has contributed to this with the whole X
Yeah.
thing. With the
Yeah.
so but at the end of the day, look, are you going to sell your own integrity just to be liked? And that's what it boils down to,
It
you
really
know? And,
does.
and at the end of the day, I was reading this study. It said that when you speak the truth, you know, look, we all have a vibration around us. We all have an electromagnetic field around us. Yeah. When you're speaking the truth, the electric magnetic field around you strengthens and other people feel that subconsciously. Whereas when you lie, the electric magnetic field or the vibration gets lower, and you actually get physically weaker when you lie. So it's actually even better for yourself, because if you lie, you become a lie over time.
Yeah.
You become a lie. You know, your whole personality becomes a lie. Everything you
Yeah.
stand for becomes a lie.
Yeah.
And, you know, anything that doesn't have any roots will collapse.
That's true. So then, okay, there's only one way out of that. So explain, if you could help explain, and I know we've talked, I mean, people have talked about this, um, gays, queers, LGBT
Mhm.
for Palestine.
Mm.
What is going on there?
Again, it's the woke mind virus, because how can you be a woke person? How can you be like, when LGBTQ people are killed in Afghanistan, when they're
Right.
killed in not Afghanistan, in Gaza, then it just doesn't make sense for you to be pro. Like, again, it's a woke mind virus. It's like the same when it comes to Islamism. People can't think for themselves. You know what I
The
mean?
woke mind virus. That's
Yeah, yeah,
the quote.
yeah, exactly. It's no, no, and at the end of the day, I had a whole interview about this on GB News. It's because, like, people, because this is what it boils down to. The LGBTQ community, they see themselves as oppressed. They see themselves as a minority. And they also see the Palestinians as oppressed and as a minority. So they have that thing in common. But then in reality, they don't realize that gay people are killed in the Middle East, especially in Gaza and by Hamas. So you don't
Right.
actually have anything in common. But again, it's just virtue signaling in society. It's just people lying to themselves. The fact that you lie to yourself that if you're a man, you would lie to yourself and think you're a woman, then the extent that you will lie to in other aspects, then obviously amplifies over time.
Right. But I mean, if I was going to take a side in something, right,
Mm,
I'd be like, all right, first things first. I'm
mm,
not going to jump on the side. Is anybody over here going to instantly kill me just because of who I am? Them. Okay. I'm not going to be on their side.
mm,
That's the first layer of any friendship. They're going to kill me, and they're just going right to the people that will declared that they're going to kill them
yeah,
out out of this allegiance to this team,
yeah,
right? Well, you know, um, this you can look up in Google in 10 seconds. Any of them can look it up in Google in 10
yeah.
seconds. So I believe that the facts on the ground are looking really good in many ways,
Hmm.
and against the woke movement.
Yeah.
But there's still that mentality out there. I don't know. The facts on the ground are good. Israel's strong. Israel is defending itself well. Iran is
Mm,
becoming weaker. We have a leader in the White House who, at minimum, is going to be clear on things, as
mm.
opposed to they're both right. You know what I mean? How Biden
Yeah.
was.
No, I think the tide is definitely turned. The world is changing, and it's changing very fast. You know, I think we've reached peak woke, and I think everything changed last year, 2024, with Trump winning and Elon Musk coming into the scene
I agree.
and the whole
I
Middle East. And he actually took a lot of strong men to change this, change the tide. And I think it's going to be a golden age. I really do believe the next 4 years, maybe even 8 years, maybe
7.
even 12 years, it's going to be
Yeah.
a golden age. It's going to be
Yeah.
a golden age in terms of the transfer of wealth. There's going to be a golden age in terms of creativity, because we got rid of the whole woke nonsense.
Right.
Now we're going to have good films again coming out
Good
in Hollywood.
comedy.
We've got
Good.
good comedy, good everything.
Right.
People are not, you can joke about everything and anything without being cancelled.
Yeah.
Even Mark Zuckerberg came out and said he's going to make Instagram more free, and he's going to rid
That's
of,
big.
yeah, he's going to get rid of independent fact checkers. So he's basically trying to copy Elon Musk. So I'm actually really optimistic, man. Really optimistic, and I actually want to come to America soon. So I'll
A
come in Miami and I'll see you. Yeah,
independent fact checker.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
look at that. What
Yeah,
did you
yeah,
see that shit?
yeah, 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 yeah.
But no, I agree too. And people are saying, what happened this election? And I believe more than anything, it was
Mm,
just the Americans saying, we're done with this woke stuff.
mm,
This is not where we're at.
yeah,
You know, I think it was Americans saying, no, we don't believe that there's racism everywhere attacking us. No, not anymore.
no,
We don't believe this is a misogynistic, woman hating society. We don't believe that. I think Americans were rejecting that. That's what I
hmm,
believe. You
Oh,
know,
definitely. I mean, that was
that's
definitely a part of it. Also, the economy, it was a part of it. It was just, look,
absolutely,
as I said this before, Biden was probably the worst president in American history, or one of the worst presidents in American history. Rampant inflation, illegal migration, this whole woke stuff. And I think it was these three things:
yeah,
economy, woke stuff,
and
and
and the border,
illegal migration. And that's
absolutely.
it, basically.
But
So I
I
think
don't
he,
even believe it's been Biden. I think he's surrounded by advisors. I mean, I don't think he's capable. I don't think he's been with it for years.
the guy is a he's a walking
Right,
dead. He's a
right.
walking dead.
So he's
But
got
this
like,
is, look, but this is what I think about, look, this whole thing. It's a bigger signal of what happened in world politics. And I spoke about this briefly in another podcast. The world is changing. Why? Because the established order is changing. You
right,
know, the establishment is changing, media is changing. Mainstream media doesn't have the same power it used to have. We have the power now, the social media, people on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, people
true.
like us. We have the power now because the media is changing. Trump, the reason why did they hate Trump so much? Because he wasn't part of the establishment.
Mhm.
That's why they tried to throw him in jail. That's why they tried to cancel him. That's why they tried to even kill him. You know, because he went against that underbelly of corruption that exists in the world. And
Mhm.
you see the whole world changing now. America's changing. The UK will change soon with the Reform Party, and also new age of media coming out. Macron is leaving. Trudeau left. Canada
Yeah,
will
yeah,
resign. The Middle East is changing. Israel's defeating Hamas, Hezbollah. The whole map of the Middle East is changing. Islamic Republic is in a very weak position. So I'm looking forward to the next 4 years. I'm actually really, I think we're going in the right direction.
right,
They say, I don't know if you read this philosopher called Hegel. He says that the pendulum swings from one extreme to the other
right.
extreme, and then it eventually comes down to the middle.
Hmm.
So I think we went from one extreme to the other extreme, and now
Now
eventually
we're,
it's coming back to the middle of
yeah,
centered. So yeah,
yeah. No, I agree. I think it's great. And it's funny because I'll tell you straight up. In 2016, I saw Trump, and I didn't like anything about it.
yeah, yeah.
You
That
know,
was the same actually, but I became a fan over time. Yeah,
well, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
well, but and then it's kind of like I looked at the world as it is now.
Mm.
And, as people might say, he might just be the asshole the world needs right now.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll
I don't
see.
even think
Um,
he's an asshole though. I think he's a person that stands up to bullies. He's a bully that out bullies other bullies, basically. And I like that kind of character.
I understand what you're saying, and I wasn't referring, but that's how a
Yeah.
lot of people see it.
Mm,
They didn't like him at all. They don't, whatever. But
mm,
you know what, man? There's certain concerns that honestly world leaders should not be bothered with, and I hate to say this, but like a little sexism thing. Dude, this guy's
What
got the nuclear weapons
sexism though? What is sexist? Tell me about, like, what the fuck is it? Yeah, he's talking
or
to a
whatever.
guy behind closed doors saying, "Oh, I grabbed them by the pussy." Like, who hasn't said that? Who hasn't spoke about girls? Like, even girls say things about guys all the time. Are they sexist towards men? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Correct.
Mm,
But even that though, what I'm saying is like
yeah.
we've got to understand when men are like the kings of the universe and have
Mm,
responsibilities in their hands, for world peace. Like, yeah, they shouldn't be bothered with political correctness or
mm.
or anything like that. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I
of course, yeah.
mean,
No,
maybe a
look, the
guy on the
thing is,
street.
we've got bigger fish to fry. You know, everyone speaks in a certain way to their friends, everyone makes jokes. But now, because of social media, everything's written so they can use like certain text messages you sent against you or certain whatever.
Yeah,
But I think that was the point of Trump. I think he defeated that ideology. He defeated that. Look, nobody really cares. As long as you're a good leader, as long
yeah,
as you're competent, as long as you do your shit, no one cares about what you did in your personal life. As long as you're not a murderer or like a
right.
rapist or whatever, everyone's like made some mistakes. Everyone said something.
Well, you know what he did
Yeah.
too? He started the no
No
apologies. I don't
apology.
apologize for shit. And guess what? He survived. All the other guys who grabbed their secretary's ass or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
or masturbate in front of the fucking administrative assistant, whatever. Those guys, I'm sorry, I apologize. Oh, whatever. Okay, fuck you, you're out. But
Yeah,
the one guy
yeah,
who didn't apologize, guess what? You know, and so yeah, you can
yeah.
sort
But
of
exactly, but that's the lesson you learn. Don't ever kiss anyone's ass. That's
right.
it. That's literally the lesson. Be your own man. Say you, but then people say you're controversial. No, I don't think I'm controversial. I say what I say and I stand by what I say, and I don't
Right,
apologize. It is what it is.
right. You're speaking the
Mhm.
truth. You're controversial. You're making up shit to get along with a group. That's controversial.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But uh, yeah. So I think that Trump helped overcome the cancellation shit because he did it all.
Hmm.
You can't cancel him. You can't apologize though. That's the key. Once you start
Yeah.
apologizing, it's
But this
like
is the thing. First of all, don't be stupid and don't make stupid mistakes. But then don't apologize for petty things.
right.
Like the things that would make him apologize for. Like, no, I was like, first of all, I didn't know I was being recorded. Second of all, it was just locker room talk. Why should I come out and apologize just because I said grabbed it by the
Right.
pussy?
We're
Like, why
all
should I even
human. I
apologize
mean,
about that? First of all, you're the one that shouldn't be recording me in the first place. You should apologize to me for giving me an
I
impression that it's a private
agree.
conversation and then you're recording me. You know what I mean?
I
So
agree.
no apologies. Don't give a fuck. No, but honestly, man, don't give a fuck. Speak your mind, and people can make their own opinion. As a matter of fact, people will like you more for speaking your truth and saying what you
At
want
the
to
end of
say.
the
You
day,
know,
for sure.
even girls like that more. You know, if you're honest to
For
girls, like
sure they
guys
do.
that try to beg girls, like, oh, please like me. No, just like be
Well, speaking
discerning.
of
You know,
girls, I've
yeah,
had this theory.
yeah,
The problem in a relationship or a marriage isn't when the man cheats on the woman. It's the woman's reaction. You know?
yeah.
Women get so mad. Everything's fine. The man had sex with another woman. He's happy. But then the woman gets all mad.
Yeah, but the thing is, I haven't cheated in my personal relationships. Like when I'm single, I'm single. When I'm in a relationship, I'm in a relationship. Yeah.
Okay, I got
So
you.
in
Really?
that
Wow.
sense, yeah.
You're a
But then
man
I wouldn't.
of principle. I like that. Wow.
No, of course. But then I wouldn't enter a relationship if I don't really love the other person or like the other person. Like I'm
So you
single right
got
now. You know
it. So
what
you
I mean?
just,
So I mean, I don't know who's watching, but I've dated like multiple different girls at the same time. I hope that doesn't work against me. That's the truth, you know. But
but the
it is
girls
what it
like
is.
that.
I'm single right now. I'm not in a long-term relationship with anyone. So I'm open and honest about it. Like as long
Yeah.
as we become official, I do my own thing.
Well,
And you know, you shouldn't commit to a relationship if you don't feel like there's any future. I mean, the next relationship I
yeah.
have is the person I will marry, you know,
Okay,
and
I got you.
have kids with,
Or
and
else
I
you're
have
not gonna
kids with.
waste it.
Yeah, of
And
course.
have
Like, why,
kids
why
with.
would I waste my time?
Right.
You know, why would I
Right.
waste my time?
But in the meantime, you're chill. You're not in a rush.
No, I'm only 30 years old, man, so I'm quite young still.
That's young
How old are you?
for a man. I'm 45.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
15 years difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looking good though.
I
Looking
already
good
did the
still.
marriage and divorce. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I already did the marriage and divorce, the kids.
How many
So
kids do you have?
three,
Oh wow.
three. So I'm
How
doing
old were
like
you?
my second round. I was here. I had my first at 31. So they're like 9, 11, 13.
9, 11, 30.
Yeah.
So you was like 32 when you had your first kid.
I was. I think I just turned. Yeah, 30. I think so. So
Yeah,
yeah.
because
It
you're
would have to be
45 now.
correct. 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 Yeah. The math. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So why did you get divorced? And who's the girl in your? Because look, the first time I saw your profile, I was like, "Who's this guy that's following me?" And I went on your profile and I saw all these naked girls, and I
right.
realized it's only one naked girl. There's not
Well,
different naked girls.
well,
There is different
you
girls.
know,
There's different girls there.
well, one is a strong number for amount of naked girls. I think you're just throwing around number one. There could be more.
Oh, there is no
You know.
there's more than one girl on your profile. Then.
Well, yeah. There used to be a lot of. We had a lot of influencers and stuff, but the one you're talking about is Barbie, my girlfriend.
Okay,
Yes. So that's the
okay,
girlfriend,
cool.
and yeah.
So I thought like
Um.
you're on OnlyFans or something. So I was like, "Who's this guy on OnlyFans?" And then I realized you're a lawyer. And then I was like, wow, like this is like a conflicted character because you're a lawyer, you're
Well.
smart, and you're also into your weed. But then
Right.
I like that vibe because it shows a certain level of open-mindedness and also shows a level of intelligence. And that's what I'm a bit like as well. Like I've got
Uh-huh.
my intelligent professional side, but then I've got my hood side and gangster side as well. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Yeah,
Well, you got a group of guys you hang out with and shit.
yeah. I mean, I have my friends. I have my group of friends. I always make new friends though. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I'm trying to just live the most exciting life I could live.
Yeah, yeah, same,
Exciting.
same. Life is short. Life is short, definitely. I agree.
Because people are like, oh, I just want to be happy.
Mm,
Happy is hard to capture.
mm,
It's sort of an emotional invention, you know. So you can't. It's not tangible. But what's more tangible to me is excitement. You know when you're
mm.
excited.
Yeah,
You know,
of course, yeah.
and that's what I like to maximize in life.
Yeah,
You
man.
feel me?
I think America is a very unique place. You know, I haven't traveled in America, so my goal is to come to America very soon,
Yeah.
actually, as soon as I can. And Miami is at the top of my bucket list of the places to go. And I just think like the American spirit is a very funny spirit. I think, look, I feel like I have more of an American spirit than a British spirit, even though like I'm above a
Uh
mix, which is good
huh.
because I think people in Europe they're more sophisticated and they are more classy, yeah, but they're more bit more pessimistic.
Hmm.
Like, you know, they don't dream big, they don't want to live the exciting life, they don't want to do the amazing big things. Whereas in America, it's the opposite. Like, people are less sophisticated and less classy, but they dream big, they're optimistic. Everyone thinks they can become the next president of the United States. And
That
I like that mentality here.
absolutely
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
That's definite. That's I think the most defining thing about America. Absolutely
yeah,
is that um, anybody can make it. You've seen anybody from the bottom can make it. They start a
yeah,
business, they do it right. You know, they focus a little, and I don't mean climbing fucking Mount Everest either. You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? I'm not. You know. I've seen anybody make it from anywhere. Guys who just fucking crossed the border, can't fucking speak English. 3, 4 years later, they got their van, their painting company. Boom, they're making a couple $100,000 a year, all the time, everywhere. And yeah, and then they're just like, they have a kid right there. They just cross the border. Like the kid's like, I'm gonna be president. Like, yes, you are. You
yeah,
know
yeah.
that it's
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
that over there.
I'm gonna be the next president of Iran, hopefully, or the
You
next
want
king.
to? Are you
I
interested?
mean, I mean that's the ultimate goal eventually. I mean, I
Really?
can't become the president of US, but because I wasn't a natural born citizen. But apparently, there is something about that that apparently that's not true because the 24th Amendment allowed for slaves when they became neutralized to have all the rights that the normal natural born civilians have.
Uh
So
huh.
it's actually not true that you don't need to be born in America. I don't know. It's a whole civil thing going about it, but obviously I love American politics now. Regardless of what happens in the future.
Yeah.
Um, I like to be in media. I like to be in politics, but I just love.
It,
Like I know more about American politics than I know about British politics. You
right.
know, it's funny.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, America, like, here's another defining thing: is the Bill of Rights.
yeah,
Is the First Amendment, freedom of speech,
mm,
and the Fourth Amendment, freedom from unreasonable search.
mm,
Like these are so
yeah,
key, you know,
yeah.
which makes
Private
us very
property,
different.
everything. Yeah,
You
yeah,
cannot be searched. You know what I mean? Unless they got probable cause or whatever. And you know, for the most part, you know, there's some fucked up cops, but for the most part, they respect that. Like,
yeah,
you know,
definitely.
and the truth about it is, cops in America are very respectful. I mean, if you're doing something crazy, 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 there are incidents you'll see on YouTube.
Yeah, but that's crazy
But
though. The thing is, I thought it was the opposite. I thought the cops weren't respectful after all the things you
no,
hear. But yeah, yeah,
total bullshit. They are
yeah,
so professional.
yeah,
Remember, I was a criminal defense attorney for 15 years. So I've seen all the fucking body cams and recordings and, you know, and it's always like, excuse me, sir. How are you tonight, sir? I,
mm,
I mean, beyond polite, like super polite. And also trying to let guys go and then they get really stupid and like sort of make, you know, all kinds of stuff, but
mm,
super respectful. And you know
mm.
what, man? Yeah. So especially with body cams, like, bro, it's by the book. Like, and guess what else in America? You get arrested, you get a public defender. You get a fucking well trained ass lawyer to like fight for you to the death
Yeah,
for nothing. You know? So
mm.
um yeah, so America's got that too. And you know America too, obviously. But England's like this. You call the fucking ambulance, they'll come. You know, the roads are clear. You get to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? You call 911, but you know,
Yeah, yeah,
all that shit works really well here.
yeah. The only problem I have with America though is like you have to pay for everything, whereas in the UK you have free healthcare, for example. You know, in America, this is the thing with America. If you have money, you're a king. If you don't have money, you're nothing. In Europe and especially in the UK, it's not like that. There's a lot more
Really
equality. There's the gap between the rich and the poor is much lower in Europe
interesting.
and in the UK. Whereas in
Okay.
America, it's not the same. We're like that's why you have a lot of homeless, especially in places like LA and San Francisco and New York. Not so much in Miami, but there's a big disparity. Like you have the most billionaires, but you also have the most broke people
So there's not
at the same time.
many homeless people over there in London?
No, not as like I barely see any, to be honest. I barely see any. Like I barely see unless look the thing is the only reason why you're
Wow.
homeless
Interesting.
in the only reason why you're homeless in the UK is because you're either a drug addict or an alcoholic. Because the government here like is obliged to give you shelter. Whether it is like
Interesting.
it doesn't need like it doesn't need to be in London. It can be somewhere like outside of London
I
or
see.
somewhere or like a hotel room.
Right.
But the government here like looks after its people.
I
They
see
also
what
have
you're
free
saying.
healthcare. So if you have
Yeah.
cancer, then you won't die. Whereas in
Right.
America, if you have cancer, you don't have money, you're dead. You
Yeah,
know?
no, 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 I agree. I mean, like healthcare should not be based on I agree,
Yeah,
like you want a big nice house, yeah, you gotta make a lot of money.
yeah,
But you want healthcare, that should not be an issue with the money.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
that's how I
Yeah,
see it. So
yeah.
but
It's
what
in
you said was
America. It's
interesting.
like, look, in America is like shoot for the stars, but you can also end up at bottom of hell.
That's
Whereas here is
true.
whereas here is not like that, you know?
You're not shooting for the
Yeah.
stars,
Yeah,
you're not gonna end up in hell. You're
yeah, yeah. It's just like yeah, kind of in the middle, yeah, yeah. Which I don't like actually because I like to take
right,
risks.
you're
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
Well maybe you should come here, man. You've never lived in America?
No, no, no. I actually, funnily enough, I keep like bumping into or like making American friends. I think it's my destiny or the universe telling me like I made a lot of connections, especially in the last year. People that
And
live in
also what
America,
you're into.
especially like people that approach me. It's not necessarily me approaching them; it's them approaching me. And more, and especially Trump's one now. I really don't want to miss it. And I actually got my visa. I've got my independent journalist visa to come to America. It's valid for 5 years. But
Wow. Yeah.
so I have
Bro,
five
you're
years to come to
gonna have a
America.
blast there, especially there. They might recognize you, and it might be a real good scene for you,
Yeah,
bro.
man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just think,
Yeah,
as I
you
said,
know.
London used to be great. London used to be great, but I just feel like the vibe of people here as well. The people here, they can be a bit negative,
You
you
feel
know.
that, yeah.
Yeah, a
But
little bit, you know, a
even
little
if
bit.
it's amazing there, you still have to leave. You've got to go live somewhere else and experience
No, of
that, no matter what.
course, man. Yeah, they say leave your hometown. Like London is probably my hometown now, so because I grew up here, you know. So there I have to leave my hometown and go to another city for sure.
Whatever, man. Let me know, bro. We'll get into it more. So, look, how long the fuck we been on?
I don't know,
What time is it? Okay.
45,
Somebody said,
6 or
yeah, yeah,
46
yeah.
minutes.
So
Yeah.
I got a couple more questions for you.
Um,
Did you grow up in a religious household?
no,
Got it. I have Iranian friends,
mm,
some good friends, real good friends here,
yeah,
and they're so secular.
mm,
They're so secular.
yeah,
I mean, in fact, out of any groups of sort of Muslims I've met, the most secular have been Iranians.
hmm,
You know what I mean? Like the guys were like, because I don't really, the Muslims I meet, they say, I mentioned Ramadan, Ramadan, yeah,
mm.
the Iranians are like, Ramadan, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, but this is the thing where you have to realize, like, first of all, Iranians were never Muslim. We had our own religion called Zoroastrianism
Mm-hmm.
or Zarathosht, which is much older than Islam. It's actually a very fun religion. It's very, full of celebration and color and diversity and, good
Yeah,
vibes, you know?
yeah,
And Islam came and conquered Iran like 1,400 years ago. And I think society mixed, like it became a mix of Zoroastrianism and Islam. But in general, because of what's happened with the Islamic Republic in Iran, more and more people are becoming anti-Islam because
I
they saw
see.
what Islam done to their society, and they're like, we don't want this shit,
Right,
So
right.
they moved away from
I
it.
see.
Yeah,
I see.
yeah.
I see sort of religiously and sort of politically in a sense, right?
Yeah, religiously and politically. I'm a spiritual person. As I said, I believe in God. I believe that God is an energy and a frequency that flows for anything. I believe in energy. I believe in vibes.
Yeah.
I believe in intuition. I believe in destiny. I believe in all of that.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not religious in the like. I think you can learn from every single religion in the world,
Right.
but you can learn metaphoric religions, metaphoric lessons. You know, so I try to learn from everything, even from Islam. Like there are certain things that are said in Islam that are true, like fasting, for example. Like it's good for your system, like fasting once a month. You
Fasting
know, it's good for your system. Yeah, fasting. Yeah,
for a whole month. That's
yeah,
a,
but that's what they do in Ramadan. You know,
I know,
like
but
it's,
that's a lot. I
no,
mean,
but
I get it maybe a
the thing
day
is,
or
but listen, like
fuck,
I
bro.
fast.
30 days? Shit.
No, no, I fast not 30 days. Obviously, you can eat it, but then the funny thing is, Muslims break that. They just stay awake at night and sleep during the day. So I'm like, that's not really fasting. So you eat all throughout the night and then sleep all throughout the day. You're not really fasting, are you? So it's all bullshit, man. But the fundamentally, I do this thing called intermediate
Yeah,
fasting. So it's
sure.
usually at like because I don't feel hungry in the morning anyway. But I skip breakfast and I go straight to lunch, and then I don't eat any thought. So technically, if you're sleeping 8 hours, then
Uh-huh. And then
and
another
then you don't
5
eat for the
hours.
first 4 hours, and you don't eat for the last 4 hours. In reality, you're fasting 16 hours of the day. You know what I mean?
Oh, interesting. And then you just eat in that 8 hour period.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Why?
Yeah, 8 hours. Like when you're like you don't have breakfast, you just have lunch and dinner, but have two big portions. You know?
But
Yeah,
fuck it. Look, bro.
yeah.
If you want to get jacked, eat 5 small meals a day. Work out that's it. Five
No, but
small meals a day.
the thing is, if you want to get jacked, you need the calories. So what that's how I try to do. I try to get two big meals, like 2,000 calorie meals, or 1,500 calorie meals. You know, so and I eat that lunch, dinner, boom, boom. So sometimes I snack in the middle, like sometimes I have a protein shake. You know,
Okay.
but yeah, yeah, man. So I'm on my
Really?
training again.
Because
Yeah,
I
I'm on
would
my
be
training.
interested in what if you distributed those calories throughout more frequent meals.
I think that's bullshit. I think because I read somewhere something that actually your body every 48 hours. It's like a 48-hour cycle. Like this idea that you need to eat right after a workout is not
Here's
true.
here's
Like
here's the only one you need to ask.
yeah,
Go find the guys with the fucking ripped abs and are all fucking jacked like this, and say, "Hey, man, what are you doing with your diet?" That's the
yeah,
right way.
yeah. That's what I heard as well. Like you, I used to be really into bodybuilding and sports. I still am. I still train like 5 times a week.
Yeah.
But um, I used to think that meal preparation and meal timing is very important. I don't believe
Uh-huh.
that anymore. I feel like as long as you get the right nutrients and the right amount of calorie into your body,
So the
whether
timing
it
you
is
don't think is
5 meals
important.
or whether it is
Okay.
2 meals, it doesn't make a
That's
difference. It really doesn't.
interesting.
You know?
All
Yeah.
right. Well, shit, man. That's a controversial statement for me, man. You just blew my mind. Um,
Yeah.
but okay. Well, listen. Is this your podcast or
I
mine?
don't
Both of our
know.
podcasts.
So this is the first time I actually jumped on live. So this is actually a great conversation that we had.
Yeah.
So when we finish it, you should give us an option to save it, or you should give us an option to post it. Okay?
Yes.
I don't know if I will get the notification because you're the one that started the live.
I'll share
But
it for
once you
now,
finish
but
it,
then
but
we'll
once you
have the
finish
audio.
it, yeah, once
Yeah.
you finish it, either share it or save it
Well,
because I
no,
might want to clip some things up and then
right.
post it later. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yeah.
All right,
Okay. I
man.
think it's on my archives. I'm gonna share it no matter what because I only have the option to share it and I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna
Yeah, share it,
share
and
it for
please like
now.
invite me as a collaborator. Yeah.
All right.
All right, bro.
All right, bro.
Nice. I see you
For
in
shit, man.
Miami. Yeah,
You
I see
too,
you in
bro.
Miami, bro.
Bring that shirt,
I
bro.
will.
Bring me
I
one.
will. I
My
will. I will.
brother.
All right, bro.
Have
Cheers,
a
man.
great
Same.
evening.
You too,
Later,
bro.
bro.
Bye, bro.